Hi everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are doing July favorites. You know I love doing my favorites videos. Can't give this up, even if I try. So let's get right on to it. So, July, what a month, what a month. My oldest moved out of the nest finally. Like, he finally flew his wings and flew away. And he flew very far away, like across the country, and I was a little bummed out. I missed him, but we've been cleaning out the rooms. My oldest son, who's 21, moved out, and then my middle child is 17, and he's been staying this summer with my mom. So it's been like we only have had the littlest one, Ella, and it's been kind of feeling a little lonely and weird for me. And I don't know, it just, you know, July was emotionally up and down with that. Like, one minute I'm feeling super high about that, like, wow, I'm graduating and moving to this new stage in my life. And then this other bit where it's like, oh, but they need me, my kids need me, and I want to be there, and I just want to hang out with them. And then this other bit, I miss them, and this other piece, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you moved out. You left a horrid mess in your room, and we've been like cleaning the rooms, and I was able to turn one of the rooms into a like, it's a guest room slash room that I can go to and close the door and do readings in private. And it's lovely because it's the coolest room in the house. It's summertime here in Sacramento, so it gets really hot, so it's lovely to have been doing all my readings in that room, and I'm so grateful for that. So that happened because a child moved out, so I was like, oh, okay, I mean, there's a plus, you know, but I still miss him. So yeah, there's that. And oh, I have my book and I have to run and get it. I'm sorry guys, I will go and get it, but you know what, actually I won't go and get it. I'll just have a picture of it on the table. We'll just discuss it because I know the title of it, I know the authors. Let's talk about the book first. The book is The Art of Deliberate Intent by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Abraham Hicks, if you're not familiar, is well, Esther Hicks is like a medium, if you will, or channel to Abraham, and Abraham is like this all-knowing, maybe God energy that gives a lot of deep insight to people's questions, to, you know, like law of attraction, to, you know, attracting what it is you want, and all of this stuff. They have some really powerful books and powerful philosophy out there. So the book is awesome. I've been rereading it. I read it a long time ago, and I'm coming back to it again, and loving the emotional guidance system. And I encourage you guys to check the book out. It's really good. It's over at my membership. This is the book that I want to like discuss a little bit further and work with, because the emotional guidance system kind of tells you, okay, if you're feeling like crap about something, what's the next level up? And once you can start to move your way quickly through that emotional guidance system, it helps to loosen up, and that energy that, because as long as you're staying upset or angry or pissed off about something, you're staying in that vibration, and you're feeling that, and it's natural to feel whatever, but the longer, it's like it's just starting to create more and more of that. Whereas if you can kind of start to elevate yourself out of that, you're changing your future right now, and your power moment, your moment of power is now. So all that, I love that book so much. So that was my book of the month that I've been working with, and we'll probably continue reading through and studying up on. So I don't have an image of it. It irritates me that I didn't remember to bring it down. I just thought about the decks, just the decks. So, yeah. And what else? So, incense. I don't make my own incense. I'm already just going to get into smudge sprays. I'm going to be creating smudge sprays. The sprays are about what I like to do, working with essences and things like that, essential oils. I'm not really like crafty enough to come up with my own incense. So I look for ones that smell really good, and that's what I do. I buy and I support other folks who are able to do this. And who I support is an Etsy seller, Granny Hootenannies, and she makes this awesome patchouli scent incense. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I love patchouli, and like there's sometimes where like it's done wrong, you know, and it smells almost soapy, and it just bothers me. But when it's done right, oh, when it's done right, like with this one, just love it to pieces. I like bought up all of like her patchouli probably stock for the month until she makes more. I started, first I got cones. I think like she sent some cones or something. I don't know how I even found her on Etsy. I don't even know. Maybe it was like I bought a crystal and she included like some patchouli little incense cones. And I just had to have it. And so anything patchouli in her shop, in her Etsy store, I get. So yeah, and they're really reasonably priced, and the shipping was really cheap. And I buy a bunch at a time, and then she's just awesome. She has little gifts that she's, you know, time to time include in her in the packages. Just wonderful. All right, what else? Crystals. We'll get to the decks in a moment. The crystal that I've been on is green calcite. This is my smaller piece, my greener piece. I love it. It's also going to be the crystal that I'm including in the giveaway, the big giveaway that I'm finally going to do the announcements. I had a long window of time for people to be able to put submissions. Plus, I knew I was super busy. It was going to take me a minute to tally up all the submissions. So, yeah. But green calcite has been my stone that I've been working with, and the stone that will also be included in the giveaways is my chunkier piece. And I just love the energy of it. It helps with my psychic abilities. It helps with, it's a good heart chakra stone, as is rose quartz, but this is another good one. And I just really needed this month in July, really and truly. And I keep a bigger piece now in now I have several rooms. My husband's like starting to feel away. He's like, you have all these corners in the house, like, and it's true, like every corner I think I have covered with a spiritual altar or center. Like my reading table's here. Upstairs is my little altars in our bedroom. Over there, I have now a private client. I love it. It's got double doors, right? It's really the office, I guess you could say, but we use this as a bedroom. You close the doors, and I got signs that say, in session, do not disturb. And then I have another sign that says, welcome, please knock. So it's like all makes it official. I don't have clients that come to my home. All of my readings, my paid client readings, are virtual, but it's nice to have in session. Anyway, so I love it. So I have that corner. I just need now one in the other. I'm going to have every corner in the house covered. But he's like, you have like reading tables I'm like, it's just, it just depends. I might want to do a reading for someone in my bedroom. I might want to do a reading now in my new little office space. I'm so happy, so happy. Such a blessing. So green calcite, been loving that, been needing that. And what else on my list? I think that's it. Incense, books, crystals, decks. Let's talk about Oracle first. So let's talk about an oldie of mine. Let's just talk. I always do this to myself so you guys can see my cool little book that I've created for this. This is my Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. Now, some people either love this deck or they just like, meh. I'm one of the people who absolutely, positively loves it. I just love it to pieces. I have all of the expansion packs for it, all of them. I have re-edged it. I had to re-edge it each time I add an addition because otherwise you can see the wornness of it. And it's gotten chunky with all the expansions. I've lost count of the expansions, but it goes up to now 84 cards, I believe. And what I do is I print in color, like in the parchment. This is the little guides that come with it, for example. I print these up, make copies, and then I take it to Kinko's and I put it in a, I have hole, like they do the hole punch and they do a spiral bound to add to the guidebook. So I do that, and then I keep these folded, and I don't really try to mess with these. I just mess with my Oracle guide book that I've created. But I love my Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. I do readings for others. I used to do a lot of readings for myself. But time doesn't really permit that. I have to literally do for myself readings on the go. Like, it's not. This is also, I've been told that it's very Lenormand-like, and it is to me. I think that's what helped me make the transition to getting some Lenormand decks and exploring, but I still prefer this deck over a Lenormand. But I'm warming up to the Lenormand. I just use it for specific purposes. I don't always use it or find that I need it. Here's from the expansion pack recently. The Diamond House. Turn that down. Sorry. Moon. So, and then these are the backs. And so the first main edition of the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle, the back of all the cards make up it's a puzzle. And so I didn't really play around with the puzzle, to be honest with you. I wasn't even interested in that. I just love the coloring of the back. You know what's interesting though is I'm not really into the Deviant Moon Tarot. That's just not. I'm actually a little repulsed by it, to be honest. But I love the Mildred Payne, and I also am not called to the other oracles that are coming out either. But that's good for my pocketbook, honestly. Next up, we have the Oracle of the Essences, and I started using this deck a lot this summer because it to me seems like a very summery deck. Here's the guidebook, and because I got the Herbcrafter's Tarot, I just thought it would play nicely. Here's the backs. I've done an unboxing, I believe, of this deck. Here's the gilding, and I really like it. It's actually super accurate. It gave me, I did a reading earlier, side eye looking at someone, for myself, and it was like spot on. It resonated. It's just a deck I've been using for both myself and others. I know that's not my lemonade. Birch. Let's see. I love the smell of wild orange. as an essence. Cypress. It's like the tower. Adaptability, impeccability. Yep, and that's my lemonade. Lemonade in the summer. So, the Oracle of Essences I've been using quite a bit. Let's put these back. What else? At the beginning of the month, was using the Sacred Rebels by Alana Fairchild. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness, where are my manners? I'll just say Deviant Moon Incorporated. I don't know why his name is escaping me. I'm the creator for the Mildred Payne. And then I think she goes by Monica the Enchantress, literally, for the Oracle of Essences. And then Alana Fairchild for the Sacred Rebels. This is a Blue Angel deck. There's the backs. You guys have probably seen this deck a lot. I put out a call because I do weekly readings, and I put out a call for deck suggestions, and this deck was suggested, and I was glad because I forgot all about it, and it's a really good deck. I did not trim mine, although I'm tempted to trim it and let this be the first deck that I attempt to trim. And I'm always hesitant for that. I don't want to mess up the deck. And I wanted to show you the guidebook. There's the backs. Very thick guidebook. Alana Fairchild is a prolific writer. So there's that for my favorites for Oracle. Now let's move to Tarot, because I do have a few, and I mentioned it earlier, was the Herbcrafter's Tarot. This is also one of the decks that's part of the giveaway, and I'm excited about that. Here's on the side. This is a US Games deck, written by Letitia Guthrie and artwork by Joanna Powell Colbert. Love the guidebook here. And the backs. Pretty. Clearly it's not, you know, necessarily traditional in terms of like Rider-Waite per se, but it is Rider-Waite per se. I don't know. Adelita of Earth. Yeah. It's a favorite deck because I've been working with it. And at first I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to work with this one. This is the moon. But I've been using my intuition, and it's been quite lovely reads with it. Shuffles like a dream. US Games is awesome with their deck creations as of late. They do not disappoint. Sounds good. My husband caught me sniffing the deck, I think it was yesterday. He's like, did you smell that? I'm like, guilty as charged. So I'm here sniffing my deck. It smells good. to work with this one. It's not one I'm like busting out and using in client readings as of yet, because I'm still trying to get to know it. It's not necessarily for beginners per se. I mean, although people can use whatever deck they're called to, if it were me, I wouldn't necessarily be called to it or attracted to it if I were new to the game, because it can be a little like, what does this mean? But it's a nice little journey I've been going on with it. Next up for tarot, we have Slow Tarot by Lacey Bryant. It has like a little guide booklet. Here's the backs. Reversible. So usually, like when I go to take my daughter to swim, I either grab this deck or the Herbcrafters this past month to like play with and sit with while she's swimming. And I really got to know the energies of this deck, and it's a good reader, it's an accurate reader, and it's pleasant to read with too. And I think it's going to be a beautiful deck to read with as we move into the late summer and fall. It just has that late summer feel to it, and I'm entering the late summer, so in my mind. So I'll go on and on because it's such a gorgeous deck, such a gorgeous deck. I backed this deck on Kickstarter, and I'm so glad I did. And she did a seamless, bang-on job with her Kickstarter, in my opinion. I jumped in late at the very end before it closed, and I got my deck like pretty timely. You know, there's always going to be delays when you're creating a deck, of course, independently. And I just thought she handled it so awesomely, and I love it, love it, love it. Love this deck. I have one over there that I'll grab in a moment, but we have the Numinous Tarot, and I pulled this out. I think I worked with, when did I get this deck? I know I backed this one also on Kickstarter, but I now cannot, sorry, at the tripod. I cannot remember when I got it. It's a large touch box. But I know that usually summers and spring is when I'm called to use it. And this summer was no exception. I use it for readings, usually for others, actually, for clients. And it's such a beautiful reader. I love it. Creator of Bells, the Hermit, Mystic of Bells, which is traditionally the King of Swords, Explorer of Candles, Dreamer of Candles, Two of Tomes, Eight of Bells. Eight of Bells is traditionally Eight of Wands, or scratch that, Eight of Swords. Seven of Bells. Six of Candles. So here's the backs. It's a shiny deck. It's gold gilding, shiny gold, but it shuffles like a dream. Great cardstock in that regard. And like I said, it's a lovely reader. I love pulling it out and looking at it and doing readings for others. No matter what walk of life, it just reads really well. Here's the full. this full has a lot of sentimental value to me, and I'll tell you why. One of my dear friends passed away suddenly. He was only like 44, and I just wanted to just kind of reach out to him, and I used this deck to reach out, and I asked him, how is it now that he's on the other side? And this is the card that jumped. So I wish I could, maybe I might take a picture. The creator had, I believe in the Kickstarter, asked what larger image of the card do you want as one of the perks. What do you call it? I forgot what you call it. Little rewards or whatever. And so I had already chosen the full card, so I have the full card, and his little tiny obituary card, my friend, is like kind of right near my, I'm looking right at it, it's on the wall behind the camera, of the full card next to my friend's obituary, and it's just so good, it was so good for me to see, like, he was like, I was afraid, but I took the leap, and it's good. So yeah. It's a great deck. It is a great deck. And last one, right there. I'm just gonna grab it off the shelf. Oh, don't fall. Oh, another deck fell. Damn it. It's the Bohemian Gothic. I have to do a quick little mention of this deck only because whenever my kids or someone has a question for me, like, just when I'm lounging around the house and they're like, can you ask your cards? What do you think your cards will say? I'm like, all right, I know the one to get. And it's always the Bohemian Gothic, because I always get a great, clear, accurate read from these cards. Like, it just, and it's one or two cards. It doesn't have to say a lot. This is not a deck that needs to, I mean, I have used it in very expansive spreads for sure, but it doesn't need it. It could be one card that says it all with this deck. Here's the backs. This is a gorgeous deck. Love this deck so much. I use it year round. I don't care if it's more of a darker season or vibe. I love it. It just captures the imagination. So beautiful, and worth the investment. This is the 3rd edition. I agonized over which edition to get. There was like a few of like the 1st and the 2nd editions out and about like where I could buy it, but they were pricey, and I was like, I wasn't even necessarily even feeling them anyway, and I was like actually really feeling the 3rd edition of all of them. So it worked out, and that was the least expensive option because that was what the publisher had, you know, on stock. Here's the Chariot. So these were the decks that I was really gravitating to. There were plenty of other decks because I was a reading fiend this month with my paid client readings. But it's cool because, like, it's funny. The month before, I think it was, I was mostly into hotlines, so I did good there. It was like, oh, I got a little hot. Oh, I think I have money due for my hotline I need to cash in on. And then it's this month. It was my business was like pop in, and so it's like, and then the membership is probably going to, for August, be what I'm really focused on, my Abundant Life Tarot membership. So got a lot going on, but that's good. I wouldn't have it any other way. And an update as far as like my work thing is concerned, because the state moves so slowly, I propose that I start another month out, giving me another month off, which is like a dream. I mean, you guys, it's been like just feeling like my old self again, and I mean my old self. Like, I don't even know, like, the self. This feels so good and healing for my soul. I needed this time away. I needed this time off from work. And I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful. My new boss is so excited to have me when I'm ready to start. She was like, we start whenever you want. And I think that's a good amount of time. And I'm now refining so much, and this is going to give me extra time to get my membership going and make sure my business is on track, because I want to make sure my business is solid when I start up my new job. Sorry, my leg is starting to fall asleep. And yeah, just like a woman in influx right now. Empty nesting going on, and career changes and business growth, and it's just all good in the hood. How are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments. What decks did you use? What crystals? What were you working with? I want to hear it. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. So much love and many blessings. Bye.